Good news. Good day at the office for Liverpool. Terrible day at the office for everyone else because I believe the dream of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managing Manchester United is now going to be over. I think there will be official comunicado very soon.
Are you finding a way to put a negative spin on my 5-0 win at Old Trafford?
I feel like you've actually ruined it. I think Liverpool...
We might have messed it up.
You've ruined it. You've ruined it. And it's one of those where we have to be happy that it happened rather than sad that it's over.
How have we done this?
But Liverpool should have just won 1-0. Or let them score and win 2-1.
The thing
what have you done?
I think Liverpool have been riled up in recent years. People discounting them, those kind of things. They wanted to make some statement wins. Big week for Liverpool. Atletico Madrid win. Manchester United win. Very emphatic win as well.
Going to Atletico and beating a Diego Simeone team. Do you know the best bit about that as well? Do you remember when they equalised Atletico Madrid and we were watching it here? And Simeone runs down the touchline, sliding there. And then at the end, he's gone. Down the tunnel in seconds.
Didn't even want to shake Klopp's hand.
That's what Liverpool can do.
That was down to what Klopp said. Yeah, and I think... I get it. Like, it's not pleasant to watch Liverpool fans gloat, but today you've got to give them a moment.
You're allowed. It's amazing. I mean, it's historic. It's I think the biggest win for 50 years at Old Trafford.
It's huge, and it's not only that, but I think it's Mo Salah scoring his hat trick. It's Mo Salah becoming the most goaliest of all goal scorers in the Premier League, who's African, and it's also Mo Salah being one away from Jamie Vardy's record in the league.
Consecutive goals.
And equaling Ruud van Nistelrooy's at Old Trafford.
Equaling Ruud van Nistelrooy at Old Trafford.
And here's the other aspect of it, right? And I think this is what we don't understand. You know, when you win, it's great to win. To humiliate is another aspect. But to compound a near rival's angst, when that rival said, I want to knock them off their perch, when that rival said, we want to be the people, and they did do that. But then to compound that, to do all of this, that is part of what the rivalry is. And I get it, like, you know, you don't want to see people being too upset, you don't want to see whatever.
Oh, I have to flag, talking about upset people. I know Adam McCullough's in the thumbnail because I had the thumbnail made before we knew the result. Adam was busy. Adam was busy. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah. I'm not sure I do. I think I wanted to see him in this video.
I mean, I would love to have seen this video, but I do understand why it's not.
We've had to take it a lot, I think, recently. A lot of people going, you're finished, you're over, all these things. Maybe Liverpool still are. Maybe there's still going to be an injury crisis this season. Maybe Liverpool will burn out. We don't know. But in these moments, you have to make the most of it. And Liverpool didn't even get out of second gear today. There were obviously Ronaldo's goal. I think it was unfortunate to get chalked off, but that's not like that was the beginning of a comeback.
No. It was the very definition of a consolation goal.
It was so simple for Liverpool. I'm not saying it was easy. I think there was
shoddy from United, terrible from United. But Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, what on earth are they playing at?
But also, let's go around the expectations pre-season. People expected United to compete for the Premier League. Now, if they make their choice now and they bring someone else in, they may still be in the chance for the Champions League, similar to what Chelsea did.
I agree. I think that whatever manager came in, he would improve them in weeks, probably without even having to make a signing.
Right.
A good manager comes in and gets that team firing. Right. I believe that.
So there's that. Great. There is then the other aspect of the fact that I think the players will need some time this week if Ole isn't sacked to come back. And if you see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in another game, then you know they're keeping the faith.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that something fairly drastic will happen fairly soon.
There's going to be a lot of finger pointing.
But do you know what? There's a level of vindication for me in that result.
I'm sure.
I said fairly recently that Liverpool are as good as they've ever been under Klopp. And a lot of people disagreed with me. A lot of people didn't think it was true. People started talking about the European Cup and the Centurion season when they had that really good year.
Close to Centurion, they didn't actually make it.
I think City hit the Centurion that season though, but Liverpool were amazing that season. I think that Liverpool are now playing as good as they ever have played under Jurgen Klopp.
Liverpool have learned to control it now.
And they've learned to go a worry.
Foot on the gas, foot off the gas. Mo Salah needs to do this. Mo Salah is trying to go
at half time. Do you know what was amazing? Obviously, before we do the show, we have a conversation about things we're going to talk about. We actually didn't have a chance to talk about anything because the game was just so dominated. It was just like, what was it? It was 4-0 at half time.
It was, and that was pretty bad. My only fear was, and I didn't want to talk too early, but obviously, you know, a 4-0 is pretty tricky. I was a bit like, well, they came back earlier in the week. Will they come out in the second half and show Liverpool? But Atalanta...
You scored straight away in the any chance of that, Salah ran through, didn't he? What
it literally looked effortless, I think,
good is
Mo Salah
in your eyes? Are we talking... I know in terms of his peers of now, he is clearly superior. Mm-hmm. But what are we saying? What are we saying? Like, are we talking all-time greatness here? Are we currently watching all-time greatness?
If the Premier League felt a little bit more competitive, and maybe if Manchester United looked a little bit more competitive, I could claim that. I think he's a great. Whether he's up there with the very great of the great, I think maybe 2 Premier Leagues, maybe another Champions League run. He might confirm that, where he's the fulcrum of it.
Yeah.
Because you've got other people who 70s and 80s at Liverpool just made it too much.
Yeah, King Kenny and them, man.
But in the modern era, genuinely.
Oh.
And in the modern era, probably,
I
I think, and you know what? I almost feel like I don't need to make the case. It feels too open and closed for me.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that out of like a Liverpool perspective. I don't know why you'd need me to validate it. We've just seen a great performance, a hat-trick, and effortless.
It was effortless. But that's also because of Manchester United, isn't it? How deep do we need to dive into the Manchester United pool to find out what on earth is going on there?
We know what it is. We can see what it is. I think it's as simple as coaching. And I think it's as simple as... You can't say to me that the shape of that team and the shape that Liverpool had to go through show that they've been coached to do that. Because if you want to bypass the press, which they did a couple of times, then you do that. But you've got to do that consistently. It seems sometimes like Manchester United are playing for credit. So it's, and you get that when you don't have a unified side. When players are almost playing for, well, I've done my job, and they're not playing as part of a system. You don't see much management at the back. Seems to be Ronaldo up front, David De Gea at the back, and very little in between.
Yeah, world-class player at the back, world-class player at the front, hope for the best. And do you hold Paul Pogba responsible at all? Are you disappointed with him getting himself sent off?
I feel like he didn't get himself sent off. I feel like, again, we were questioning the high foot, we're questioning again on VAR. Both those are ones where you sort of go, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but it's tricky.
Do you know, during that conversation about the Pogba sending off, I'm sure you've all seen it, right? The Pogba sending off, for me, that was as clear. I didn't want to push too hard because Adam was fuming. It's two-footed. It's two-footed into the ball. Like, you cannot do that.
You can't.
It was never not going to be a sending off.
It also doesn't help afterwards because in retrospect we then go, well, Naby Keita did go off on a stretcher, so maybe it shows what he was doing. But for me, I think in a high-pressure game like that, you're probably... The worry, I guess, is, and the referee needed to get a handle on it because what that would have shown then is you put any reducers in on these players and you can stay on the pitch.
Naby Keita's injury, obviously, Curtis Jones came on, didn't he?
He was great.
Are you confident that that injury, because obviously that midfield of Henderson, Milner and Keita was starting to play very well. It had like a real experience and balance to it.
It's without Fabinho, one of our best players from last season and one of the best players potentially for Liverpool this season. And then beyond that, you're looking at Jordan Henderson putting in another great performance. He got an assist. One assist today. The midfield, the closing down. Here's the thing, though. Again,
the swapping of the fullbacks was interesting.
That was interesting. Robertson and Trent.
That was weird, wasn't it?
They do that, and I think, if I'm honest, it's a bit of a flex.
It's clever.
Liverpool fans were cheering Manchester United passes today. They were singing Ollie's at the wheel. That will sting Manchester United fans, and rightly so, and it should do. And here's the thing, it's not me rubbing that in. I had my chance to do that on the show. It's me saying, if you're not happy with that, think about why Liverpool fans can do that. Because it's not baseless that they're doing that. It's not out of nowhere that Liverpool fans have gone, we're 1-0 up at Old Trafford, let's have some fun with it in 93 minutes. This was like 55 minutes that they were doing this.
Well, the game was over as a contest after about 30 minutes.
Yes.
It was over as a contest.
Even when Liverpool
scored... A third of the way into the game, it was over.
Even when Liverpool had scored one, and then they're 2-0 up, and I know we were trying to be generous to United and saying, well, 2-0's a dangerous scoreline. Realistically, was it today?
No, it would never
really,
was.
no, you're right.
If Solskjaer stays, let's just pretend if Solskjaer stays, do you think that he will have learnt from today? Does he drop Fred and McTominay, for example? Does he perhaps do something with the centre half, bring Bailly in, take Harry Maguire? Do we see some movement, or is it just going to be the same scenario?
It's probably one of the only ways that he stays, and probably one of the only ways is if he can convince people that there is a plan that he can go forward with. Either that or a new manager comes in, he has the plan, he gets to execute it. The problem being, I don't know if he has the pieces that he thinks he needs.
My thoughts on the matter, I think that time has shown that he deserves time. They should totally, unilaterally back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Southampton persevered with Hassan Hüttl. It was the correct decision. I now implore all Manchester United fans to get behind Solskjaer. I implore the board to back Solskjaer wholeheartedly. In fact, put it on the table. Sign a new contract, Ollie.
Jeez. I mean, I do that and I'm going to get clipped up and castigated. You do that, people go, man of the people, love it. Absolutely brilliant.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's insane. And you know the funny thing is, it doesn't even take Liverpool top. Do you know who they're second to?
I do know. Only the 7 yesterday. Only the 7 for us. Loz, as always, mate. And on us. I hope you enjoyed the kickoff because that was a special one.
There's a lot of fallout.
There's a lot to come.
Yeah.
And I look
Monday,
forward
Tuesday,
to
Wednesday. Stick around on this channel.
Stick around.
Because he's going to be bringing you some big news.
Yeah. Click subscribe. in a bit, y'all.